Hi, this is Ed. Welcome to another episode of EDTalks. And I want to hit a topic that many people talk about, makes lots of headlines, actually makes good titles for books, but few of us really do it. And that's digital transformation. And I can't think of anyone better but Kerry Pauling to join me and break this down. Kerry, welcome to EdTalk.
Thanks, Ed, and thanks for having me. I appreciate it very much.
Kerry, I was so pleased that we were brought together by our friends from Aberdeen Advisors because I've always been intrigued by everything Walmart has done. Because I think of Walmart as a true leader in digital transformation and innovation, all those things. And you were part of the reason and part of the core team, part of the executive team there for so long. But Kerry, can you give us a little bit more formal introduction about who you are?
Yeah, thanks, Ed. I appreciate that very much. Engineering graduate out of the University of Arkansas. Had always had a strong desire towards technology. Got started with Walmart for 5 years in their supply chain space, doing engineering work, and then spent the remaining roughly 25 years of my career at Walmart, going up through the IT ranks at Walmart, where I got the chance to be the CTO for Walmart internationally. Retired in 2020, and started my own consulting company. And I've had a chance to work with David and Kavir in the past from Aberdeen Advisors, and that's the connection. I'm glad to be here, Ed. Thank you.
So Kerry, tell me about your company. So your advisory firm, KP, for where does the four come in?
I didn't want to limit myself from what I do. I enjoy engineering work. I enjoy IT work. So send problems my way. I've been a problem solver my whole life, and I enjoy that approach. I enjoy being part of the teams. Working on real issues.
No, that's cool. So tell us, in your mind, what is digital transformation?
I think it's how do you effectively utilize technology to serve your customer while you step back and improve your business and your business model. It is about effective use and by being able to turn that into different processes that delight the customer and control your expenses. And I think that's really what it boils down to.
Kerry, how would you balance sort of when we say digital transformation, and we'll get into some specific examples, but you mentioned already, sort of the customer, but also internal operations. Is there a chicken and egg, or can you do both simultaneously in terms of transforming?
I think you can. It's easy, I think, to rally motivation to serve the customer. I think that comes naturally in most organizations that I've worked with. But what does not come naturally is the willingness, I think, for companies to disrupt themselves. And everybody wants a digital transformation, but you cannot have a digital transformation without disruption. And when it comes to disruption, you have to address all the questions like, is my job still going to exist in the future? If it does exist, is it going to be the same job, or is it going to be a much smaller job? Should the job be done in a different location? What if I have to go to the office and I work remote? So that's where I think everybody gets nervous about going through a digital transformation. And I think that's where strong leadership has to step up and set the example to work through that. I think that's definitely the hardest of the two, Ed.
Yeah. So, you mentioned leadership, obviously so critical in order to truly do digital transformation. What else can you do in terms of culture? What have you seen work in terms of developing sort of a culture of digital transformation?
Well, I think the number one thing is you have to have an extreme focus on serving the customer and making sure that everything you're doing is adding value. And so often, I think in business, it's easy to add, but it's very hard to subtract.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people go into a digital transformation, honestly, with the wrong mindset. A digital transformation isn't buying another SaaS solution that's out there
Right.
that there's thousands of. It's not developing this, gee whiz mobile app. That's not a digital transformation. In fact, I don't even think, moving from on-prem to a cloud is a digital transformation. It's an activity. It's an activity that can make you better maybe in the future, but none of those are digital transformations to me. A digital transformation, in my opinion, has to create in the organization speed, flexibility, innovation, so the company can keep moving forward. And that can be a challenge. It can be a challenge as to how do you go about creating that environment.
Yeah, that's a good point. You've already mentioned a couple things in terms of what is digital transformation, what isn't, and the fact that you need the leadership and you need the culture. And yet some still succeed and some companies fail. Are there any sort of best practices that put you on the succeed side of that ledger?
Yeah, I think there are. And I've had a chance, Ed, because of my international career with Walmart and my consulting after Walmart for the last 4 years, to work with companies in many countries, US, Europe, wherever, South America. It doesn't matter. And the problems are all the same. And that is, I think the hardest part of the digital transformation is getting started in the right way. And I think the first thing that you have to do is you have to find some stuff to stop doing, to
Yeah.
eliminate, because the company just can't double its workforce while you're going through this digital transformation. They can't, double their IT investments. That's not realistic. And it takes, I think it takes a special company, it takes a special, department to be able to come in and effectively say, hey, this is not adding value out here. Let's stop doing that, so that you can create headspace in a company, both financially and with human resources, and then redirect them to actually changing the company going forward and doing a digital transformation. And I think most of the companies that skip that first step, it turns into a 3-year assignment. The company makes some investments into it, everybody gets tired, and it kind of goes on its course, if you will.
Yeah. Carrie, I think you nailed it, because and everything I've seen or been involved with as well. You could talk the talk, leadership. You could try to set the culture, but if you don't stop doing something so you can shift the resources to actually make it happen, you're right. It'll just be another one of those failed, initiatives that sounded really good, looked really good on paper, but never really materialized. Carrie, one final question. So I know we have some individuals watching who are very innovative themselves, very much, into the transformative spirit, if you will, but maybe in a company where maybe that leadership just isn't focused yet, or the culture isn't quite focused yet, but they really want to make a difference. So within your own division, so let's say we're not the CEO to transform the entire company, but is there hope for you if you're within your own division, in order to maybe show some seeds of digital transformation?
Yeah, for sure there is. Even in companies, and it doesn't even have to be a large company, there are departments inside of departments that run and add value through a process. And I think anybody, Ed, that takes a moment, steps back, and really and truly embraces process engineering and rethinking about whatever you're doing and how could you do it more efficiently, and wakes up with that desire every day, I think results will show. Eventually that continues to pay off.
Yeah.
And you can make progress, and it'll start to eventually show up on the P&L and everything else.
Yeah. So I think that should be encouraging for everyone watching who really wants to do digital transformation, do innovation, and maybe get frustrated sometimes. It's okay. Sometimes you have to lead from behind, if you will, and then show the rest of the company how it can be done. And then that's how you sort of create that, push the culture this upwards, instead of always coming downwards. So that's really encouraging.
It is, Ed. And if you can demonstrate how to disrupt yourself and the department or the piece of business that you're responsible for,
Yeah.
I think it can set a great example for the organization.
Yeah, love it. So don't be discouraged if your company isn't quite where you want the company to be, because you can be part of the solution and do digital transformation within your department and division, and allow everyone to see the benefits of that. Carrie, this has been so good. Thank you for being part of EDTalks. You left us with a lot of great ideas in terms of digital transformation, how to do it, how not to do it. Thanks for being our guest.
Thanks, Ed. Appreciate it very much.
Hey, that wraps up another edition of EDTalks. Thanks for watching.